What's up, everybody, and welcome to Game 2 of the semifinals of the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier number 3 between Absolute Legends and GL. Absolute Legends took Game 1 in a convincing fashion with a relentless mid-game timing that they were just able to tank up and just overpower Gamers League with heroes like Undying, with Pugna, with a really farm Talent Hunter, and Naga Siren. Really useful, as it looks like Gamers League just so annoyed by the Undying pick, they're just going to ban him right off the bat. Meanwhile, Absolute Legends decides to ban out the Broodmother, so interesting first bans. But the Gamers League ban makes a little bit more sense. Broodmother really has seen not too much success these days, but Absolute Legends looks like they just want to leave as many overpowered heroes in the pool as possible and just say, alright, pick your poison. But keep in mind, Gamers League does have second pick, so they can pick up 2 heroes in this position. So Absolute Legends, they will have to be careful in this scenario right here. As we're just going to wait for the bans. Really too early to tell, as Absolute Legends did get a strong mid-game push going. Will they go for it again? One of their key heroes, Undying, was rendered useless. Really had, or it's just rendered out of the equation because he did get banned. Really had an enormous impact in the laning phase. Decay just managed to get him so tanky, ridiculously difficult to bring him down. Talenter, of course, had a significant impact as Absolute Legends does ban the Templar Assassin. So they know that GL has the second 2 pickups in Templar Assassin, a strong pickup if GL did decide to ban out the Batrider or something like that. GL bans out the Darkseer, leaving Absolute Legends first pick Rubik, the most versatile hero in the game at the moment. Does limit some of what GL could do. They have to be careful in how they use their giant teamfight ultimates. If they pick up heroes, will they pick up heroes who sort of go around Rubik? Heroes like Void, heroes with short cooldowns on their ultimates. Really difficult to say. Will they go for a really versatile lineup like they did last game? Got a lot of squishy spellcasters. Got their split push going. Got like 5 towers in the span of 15 minutes. Unfortunately, once the death ball came by Absolute Legends, it was just not enough to bring it down. Venomancer and Nature's Prophet going to be the first pickups. Pretty interesting pickups. Venomancer, a very strong laning support, as he does have those wards to prevent a push. Meanwhile, Absolute Legends immediately responds with the Batrider. Probably the most powerful mid lane hero in the game at the moment. Just gonna be so difficult to bring him down. And once he gets a fast blink dagger, it'll just be a lot of trouble for GL. Meanwhile, heroes like Venomancer, Nature's Prophet does not do a lot in terms of limiting the Batrider. GL just gonna peg themselves, alright, we have the late game, we have Anti-Mage, we have Nature's Prophet. We're gonna try to hold out to the late game, so we'll see if Absolute Legends decides to ban out a couple more defensive heroes, as the second ban phase is about to start. I'm surprised that Twin Head Dragon did not receive a ban or a pick in that first round. Most likely we'll see him getting banned by GL, as he is just an enormously annoying presence with that Liquid Fire, with that Ice Path. Is just so useful in terms of limiting the other heroes' movement. Invoker is going to be banned by Absolute Legends, going to protect their Batrider. Invoker, Queen of Pain, probably the most successful heroes against Batrider in middle lane, and we do see those bans immediately coming out to protect that Batrider in the middle lane. So that's going to really limit what GL does. They might have to be forced to dual lane it, but I don't think a dual lane of Venomancer Anti-Mage will be enough to hold the Batrider in place, as Talenter is the ban by GL, immediately banning out just a lot giant, large-scale teamfight air effect ultimates right out of the equation, saying we're not going to pick them up, you have Rubik, so we're just going to ban them so you can't get them. But I am a bit worried about how GL can hold out to the late game. Once they get to the late game, they should be okay, but considering the enormous amount of gold that Talenter gives his team, considering the enormous amount of lane dominance that Batrider gives his team, it's going to be tricky to hold out to that long. Especially with heroes who do take a bit of time to scale up. Nature's Prophet, Anti-Mage do take a significant amount of time to scale up and really become powerhouses. So GL, they're going to have to pick turtle heroes, and they're going to have to pick them very soon. As Invoker, Queen of Pain, two of the best turtling heroes. Queen of Pain more because she can split push with that blink, just able to farm all around the map, really prevent those creep waves from pushing in. Invoker with that EMP Tornado limits the mana pool of the opposing team. Tornado just does a significant amount of damage, and with the 25-second cooldown he can use it relatively frequently. But an option for GL is that Keeper of the Light, but unfortunately right now what they are lacking is stuns. And if Batrider picks up a fast blink dagger and blinks onto the Anti-Mage, there's really nothing that can stop that blinking in Batrider from just getting away. They don't have any stuns at the moment. Shadow Demon is the ban by Absolute Legends. Pretty powerful laning here. We haven't seen Shadow Demon nearly as much these days. with the arrival of Twin Head Dragon. But this is a pretty clear pickup that Absolute Legends does want to pick up the Twin Head Dragon themselves. Just saying, okay, we're going to ban the Shadow Demon. What are you going to ban? Are you going to ban out the THD? We have other heroes that we could play with as well. Are you going to ban another Teamfight Ultimate AoE hero? Anything is possible at this point. But GL caught in a very awkward position. If they manage to hold out to the late game, they should be okay. The problem is holding out that long. As they ban out the Pugna, a pretty powerful mid-game pusher, Netherward. Wouldn't be as useful as it is in the last game, but still just overall really annoying to deal with. You know, Absolute Legends going to take their time. They pick up the Sand King, giving them some nice team fight, a couple forms of initiation with that Flaming Lasso and the Burrow Strike Epicenter combination. Could be useful in terms of bringing down the HP pools of Venomancer, Nature's Prophet, and Anti-Mage. It'll be interesting to see how they lane this, as Absolute Legends Sand King will most likely be in a dual lane. Barrier will probably be in the mid lane position, and Bounty Hunter will most likely be in the off lane position. As Absolute Legends, they're probably going to do a try of Rubik Sand King, try to roam out the Rubik and Sand King. They could pick up a jungler themselves to try to cement their push, but most likely their last pick will be a hard carry for Freezer. Meanwhile, GL picking up the puck, pretty useful heroes, just limits the mobility of the opposing team. If you break that Dream Coil, it'll be pretty useful. But another hero who does rely a lot on experience and items in order to get going, does need that Blink Dagger and does need a lot of experience, wants to get those max levels of the nuke and the Waning Rift up so you can get that silence going. And I don't know if they'll be able to find all their experience. Fortunately for them, not too many strong pushers on the side of Absolute Legends, more of strong gankers. But still, they could be under a lot of pressure in the laning phase. But it does give them a viable offlane opportunity. He could also mid lane, that is a possibility. And against a hero like Batrider, I mean, he can survive with that illusory orb, but keep in mind, it's not really as guaranteed as a blink, as it does travel one path. You can't just blink away, and Batrider can follow you up, as Absolute Legends picks up the Alchemist. One of the hardest carries in the game with that Goblin's Greed buff. Dazzle is going to pick up from GL, as Dazzle is one of my favorite support heroes in the game. Alchemist is one of my favorite carry heroes in the game, so it's going to be an awesome matchup. As Dazzle, I'm not too sure I like this pickup either. He just needs a lot of experience in order to be really successful. Dazzle, I do think he is the best late game support if you give him some experience, because all his skills scale extraordinarily well. Weave just becomes more and more powerful. Grave, just a ridiculously powerful spell. Short cooldown on the Shadow Wave, heals everybody up immensely, and once you get to mana to spam that, it'll be very useful. But I think the heroes on GL just need too much experience. I'm not too sure where they'll all get it. Meanwhile, heroes like Rubik and Sand King, they only really needs level 6, as I'm a huge favorite of farming with Sand King, but this is Mania Sand King. He's going to get his farm, he's going to find his positioning, and he's going to be able to have a huge impact in the game. As we'll introduce the players and the teams, looks like Sony's going to be playing that Alchemist, as I called Freezer, but no, Sony's going to be playing it. Mania is going to be playing the support Sand King. The legendary Mania SK is back in effect. Kawatha is going to be playing the support Rubik. Vigas is going to be playing the Batrider, so expect to see a lot of tower dives. More tower dives than usual than we see from Batrider. And Freeze is going to be playing the offlane Bounty Hunter, already just going to try to position himself in the trees and really just try to sap as much experience as possible. Already used a glyph, as we're going to see aggressive trialing by the side of the range, so we're going to try to eliminate Alchemist's farm as much as possible. Meanwhile, we're going to introduce the players and teams on the side of the range, but here comes Mania. He's going to be caught in a very awkward position, as Sayuri a little bit slow on the upkeep, as Mania will be able to Burrow Strike away successfully. They do not want to tower dive at this early stage in the game, and Mania should just be able to tangle up and get himself back up to relatively full HP. That limit scale does do a decent amount of damage, but unfortunately that's the problem with Dazzle. No level 1 stun, does not really get a stun until level 5 if he does get 3 points of that poison touch. So it's going to be interesting to see how this lane plays out. But introduce the players and teams on the side of GL, Gamers League. Sayuri is going to be playing that Dazzle. CHW is going to be playing that Venomancer. Meanwhile, Felix is going to be playing the Anti-Mage. Looks like Quix is going to be playing the Puck, and that means we're going to see Migo playing the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet going for an interesting build, going to go for faster and Basilisk, may try to go for some early game pushing. But Bounty Hunter will have a relatively good time, as both teams calling out good luck. Keep in mind, Come With Me did play on Sayuri's team for a bit. So I'm sure they're all very good friends here, as 2 wards going to be popped. We'll see if early sentry wards are going to be picked up by the rain. They do have a smoke to see up on the Venomancer, so they could get the roam going, but again, Dazzle needs a little bit too much experience in order to become a really successful tryline hero. Meanwhile, Puck should just get completely owned by the Spat Rider. Just going to have overall higher damage to last hit and deny, and does have to be careful. Illusory Orb only travels one path when it is casted, so Bat Rider can follow it up. And it's not the fastest projectile in the game, as it's already going to use Phase Shift, 4 stacks on him, and now just has to back up. So Vigas can have a grand old time in this middle lane. It's just going to be really, really difficult for Puck to just lane effectively, as 6 stacks up on that Puck, considering Puck's low HP pool. This is not going to be too good for Puck, but he just needs to get experience, just needs to survive and get that Dream Coil going. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, Frieza's going to be pretty happy, expecting a Trillion against him, but should be able to lane relatively effectively. Already picked up that fast poor man's shield, so he should have relative. He should get beaten by the Nature's Prophet, but he's going to have a lot of experience, and all Bounty Hunter really needs is that level 6 so he can get that track gank gold going. Meanwhile, it looks like Alchemist and Rubik going to be pincered, but unfortunately, again, Dazzle not the best aggressive Trillion hero, because he doesn't have a stun or a slow. Well, he has a slow, but 33-second at level 1, and then it goes to 66, then 33 at level 2. So Sayuri is really going to have to get that Poison Touch going in order for them to have a reliable way. One thing that is good about Poison Touch is that it's pretty long range, and that 5-second cooldown level 4, or 7-second cooldown level 4 is not insignificant. Quicks managed to get himself a fast bottle, because he did save up some very nice starting gold. As Miguel going to provide a bit of pressure, picks up that Ring of Basilis, immediately turning on the aura, but Freezer with the help of the tower and the Janana should be able to last hit under the tower with relative ease, so right now it's a bit too early to say who has the advantage, but we can see looks like Puck doing a nice job keeping on with Barrett in the middle lane, as Freezer is going to try to harass Miguel back, but looks like Freezer going to take a bunch of damage. Gonna have to use a salve, and that's gonna be a bit difficult considering the creep wave is under his tower. So nice job by Miguel, really keeping back the bounty hunter. Of course, since he is a ranged hero, he does have the advantage, but just liberally using those summons, just gonna try to pressure him back as much as possible. But bounty hunter is level 4, and again, all he needs is experience. Meanwhile, Quick's using that orb to spam across the rune, as he's able to get that rune control by spamming that orb and just eliminating Barret's rune presence. Gonna use a defensive Firefly just to clear out the creep wave as fast as possible. Nice move by Barretter. What will he go for? He picks up fast bottle himself. So Barretter getting a bit pressured in this middle lane, considering Puck has a bit more mobility. But I think as the lane goes on, Vigas should have a relatively easy time. Experience level is relatively even, but the fact that Puck went for such a fast bottle and his bottle currying, or is just going in, as Maney's going to maneuver himself into position, gets stun going on to the Venomancer, as here comes the Alchemist stun. It will be used on the Venomancer as well. Who will take the first blood? Grave is going to be used, nicely done by Sayuri, and now Come With Me is in a lot of trouble. Felix does have a lot of mana, but does not want to pursue the matter anymore, as looks like CHW picks up the first blood onto Mania, and now the stun is going to come in from the Alchemist. Fully stunned, he's going to go for the Venomancer, try to pick up a kill, but nice body blocking by Miguel as he teleported in. Nice job by the Radiant top lane. Did not think they the advantage in those aggressive engagements, but a clutch grave by Sayuri, able to save CHW, and now Come With Me, no mana, is just going to get relentlessly tower dived. So they're going to try to eliminate Alchemist's farm as much as possible, only 4 CS. Let's check out Alchemist's skill build. 1 point to stun, 2 points in the greed. Considering the Trillion, this makes a lot of sense. But here comes Miguel. Will he provide a bit more pressure? No goal, or has enough gold for the TP. Going to try to buy a TP scroll, get back to his lane, but not enough mana to TP, unfortunately for him. So he's going to sap experience for a decent amount of time. Can they get the kill going? As Sayuri, only level 2, does not have that poison touch leveled up just yet. Pops a Clary, just get back in that lane as soon as possible. As looks like Miguel is going to go back to the bot lane, while Bounty Hunter is going to have relative free farm now. And he picks up a fast Ring of Regeneration. Probably going to go for Boots of Tranquility. Meanwhile, Puck and Vigas duking out, as Vigas very low mana at this stage, trying to cast as many napalms as possible, try to get the rune control going his way. Unfortunately, the rune is nice, so he's going to have to courier up and get that bottle going in order to get his regen going, but looks like this is a relatively easy lane, or even lane. A bit surprising, thought Puck would have gotten a bit more downy, but that fast bottle just working a lot of wonders for that Puck, getting that illusory orb harassment going, and pushing the wave going, so nice job by Puck. picks up boots. Meanwhile, Vigas just going all the way back to base, so it looks like Puck one lane. Both heroes are level 6, relatively even experience. Puck forced to stay a little bit more back, but considering Vigas is going all the way back to the fountain, Puck will be able to even out that experience relatively soon. Meanwhile, Alchemist not having the best of times on that top lane. NTH not having the best of times either, 19 CS, but hey, they got a couple kills, so they're getting the experience up. But fortunately for Absolute Legends, they are going to get their pull going onto the small camp. Mania pulling the wave. Meanwhile, Sayuri picks out that point into Poison Touch, so they do have a 33% slow for 1 second. And that is immense. But overall, GL doing surprisingly better than I expected. I expected them to have a bit more trouble in the laning phase, but they're doing a solid job. Miggle has just been instrumental with that teleport gank on the top lane to save the life of Venomancer. So here comes the Alchemist stun being charged up. Can he get into range? Looks like Mania trying to get in position to get that burrow strike, so Alchemist does not stun himself. He does stun himself. That ward spotting it out all the while as here comes Mania with the burrow strike. They are able to kill the Dazzle, so that's going to eliminate the healing as Grave was already used on the Dazzle. Meanwhile, come with he's going to escape successfully. Here comes Barrett and Vigas is going to come in, join the party. Can Dream Coil be used by Quicks? He's going to lasso the Puck, doing immense amount of damage with that Firefly. Will Puck be able to escape? Unfortunately, not enough stacks to do enough damage. Dream Coil is still up. That lasso was unable to pick up a kill, but meanwhile, the stacks are going to go down. Miggle. Can Quicks crash the Dream Coil? Firefly was enough to get down those trees as Miggle is going to take the fall. Mania picks up the last hit. Here comes the Anti-Mage, going to go to town onto Rubik. Does pick up a kill, and looks like Dazzle respawn is going to come back, and now Absolute Legends is forced to back up, but the key X factor is going to be this Bounty Hunter, getting pretty much no attention on the spawn lane. Puck going to go to town onto Vigas, so Vigas with that 2.7 strength growth, even with just the stout shield, is just going to be pretty tank in surviving that engagement. But a nice recovery by Absolute Legends. Alchemist picks up boots of speed. Probably just going to get a magic wand as his next item. As it looks like Vigas is going to try to desperately stack napalms. They want the rune. Who's going to get the rune? It's going to be Come With Me as he gets the rune. As Puck is going to illusory orb out. Can Freezer get the track going? Give him some move speed. He does have phase boots. I think Quicks is going to be in a lot of trouble. Can he get the track going? I think Puck illusory orb is going to be cooling down. Oh, nice jigging back Quicks as now Freezer's caught in an awkward position. Has to get the heck out of there. It does have phase boots. As there's going to be a couple of dives come with me still with that Invis rune. Might get a bit of pressure going on Miggle. But still, Freezer is Invis, has the face boots, has the track. He's going to go, he gets the track and the Janata hit onto Miggle. Here comes the telekinesis. They're going to try to save Miggle. They are unable to do so. Freezer is going to escape with those phase boots, and Puck was a little too late on that teleport. Or I think the teleport was canceled. I think Puck was still on the bottom lane. Not too sure. As I'm going to bring up the last hit and deny tabs. Bounty Hunter leading the way, considering the amount of attention received in that bottom lane, which was next to none. He should be leading the last hits, but that track gold is just going to increase the gold count of the dire side more and more as this game approaches. Magic Wand is picked up by Vigas. Mania and Alchemist unable to get too much farm going, but Alchemist, once he gets a bit of rune, he can pretty much get 500 gold from like one wave. And if they should be stacking neutrals, so once he gets the points in Acid Spray, he'll be okay as the Acid Spray stun, or the Unstable Concoction stun is charged up, but they do have to worry about that Grave. Mania gonna immediately just go into Sandstorm, knowing that Sony is very much screwed as he does take the fall. CHW with that haste rune, able to pick up the kill. Mania, Sandstorm has about 9 more seconds as Napalm is gonna come in. Vigas is here to join the party. Can they defend this tower? It's 4 heroes. It's going to be difficult for just Vigas, but another teleport and Flame Glass are going to be used on CHW. I think Grave was on cooldown. It was used on the Anti-Mage, so Vigas with the kill as Firefly is still in effect. Firefly still has relatively long duration left, but it looks like Vigas taking too much damage. Mania does take the fall. Anti-Mage is walking through the Firefly, takes way too much damage. Nature's Power does destroy a tower in the meanwhile. That was the top tower. Come with me, caught in the tree. Quicks, the Dream Coil is on cooldown as he is going to get the Illusory Orb killed. Can the Batrider Flame Break be enough to save him as a Illusory Orb by Puck? One more hit would have killed him. And nice job by Vigas saving his ally. Beautifully played Batrider by Vigas. Nice placement of the Flame Breaks. Nice slowing of the sticky napalms. And Batrider. I miss this. Batrider, my favorite hero in the game. Just going to be so useful in terms of preventing these engagements. Meanwhile, Freezer should be able to lane against this Anti-Mage relatively well. Anti-Mage does have 10 charges on that Magic Wand, so we'll be able to get his man up. Meanwhile, Alchemist finally hits level 6. Still hasn't gotten for any points in Acid Spray. Considering the lane he was in, I I guess it was better to take those points and stun. You know what, they might go to town onto Etz, who's playing very defensively. Got max level into Blinks, but a couple hits means the death of him. Just gonna magic one out. Track was not used, so there's not gonna be increased move speed and very low cooldown on that Blink because he did level up so much. Nice escape by Etz. A bit of poor stun, as unfortunate for them. Well, it wasn't really poor stun, it was one stun. But meanwhile, Vegas spots a Wild Nature's Prophet out, gonna go to town on him, gets the lasso going. Sayuri gonna have to approach very, very carefully with that Grave. Only 400 range on level 1 Grave, has to approach very, very close as he does get the Grave off onto Miggle. But meanwhile, Miggle is gonna take a bunch of damage from that Firefly once it does cool down. Not getting the track off, Vegas gets the kill in that engagement. Meanwhile, Puck is gonna have to escape. Here comes a Burrow Strike. Flame Break gonna try to push somebody back as Puck was stunned for a little bit too long. Meanwhile, Track picks up a kill onto Dazzle as these long skirmishes, long chasing engagements is going to favor the team with the Batrider and the Bounty Hunter. But they do have two blinkers in the form of the Puck and the Anti-Mage. Nice trend blocking by Miggle, but will that be enough to get CHW in range for the kill? Tried to path block a bit. Anti-Mage did pick up a kill on Alchemist in the middle lane in the meanwhile, but Vegas is going to escape. Now here comes the teleport in by Miggle. They want to get the push going. They do have the Ring of Basilius turned on with an Urn of Shadows. You know, Anti-Mage gonna be able to finish at least the Perseverance. Will he go for fast Vanguard? Just try to tank up as much as possible. That might be a better option considering he'd get a pretty late battle fear at this rate. Considering these engagements. Meanwhile, there's going to be engagement for the Puck. One more hit by the Bounty Hunter does pick up the kill. I do not know if he got the track gold, as a bit more gold would go for his teammates. But hey, still got a kill. Doesn't matter. 8-6 in favor of the Dire. And considering the rain did pick up 2 towers, that is important. Dire only have 1 tower. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet does end Bounty Hunter's killing spree. I guess one unlucky Wrath of Nature bounce was enough to clean that up. Vegas gonna pop a defensive Firefly, saving up for that Blink Dire, and once it gets a Blink going, Anti-Mage will just have to be so careful. Blink and Lasso is not to be underestimated. Bounty Hunter bob back as we see Dazzle trying to pick up her farm. Only put 4 skill points, just trying to save the farm as much as possible. Meanwhile, Miggle going to teleport in. Freezer is caught in an awkward position as Miggle does want to get the push going for the bottom tower. There's going to teleport in by Vegas. Rubik, come with me. As a Burrow Strike initiation going to go down. Sand King does channel his Epicenter. That's going to do huge amounts of damage as Sari pops a very premature Grave. Was forced to do so. And she's going to get bursted down. Meanwhile, Freezer trying to go to town. Can he pick off Miggle? Freezer did use a buyback. Rubik does pick off Dazzle in the midst of that. Here comes a stun by Alchemist. Once again, stuns himself. Very unfortunate. Miggle is tracked. FaZeWood's Gondar going to come up. Or FaZeWood's Bounty Hunter going to come up, try to shank him in the back with a couple more hits of his Glaze. Another track going to be used, refreshing that track at duration. Unfortunately, the Sprout does whiff as Bounty Hunter picks up another kill. Meanwhile, here comes the Venomancer trying to reinforce with that ultimate Poison Nova. Freezer taking a bunch of damage as Mania does a nice tower redirection. Will Freezer be able to survive? He does for now. Grave is going to be used by the Rubik as he did steal it from the Dazzle. Meanwhile, Radiant's Cur does get killed and Vegas is caught in an awkward position. Did not go for that Blink Dart. Instead is going to go for a fast 4-staff most likely. But right now, Absolute Legends with these crazy mid-game skirmishes is just taking the advantage slowly but surely. Meanwhile, Felix, what did he go for? Picked up the Treads. So we're going to just check out the gold graph. And now we see the power of track. More gold is going into the pockets of the Dire. And meanwhile, Bounty Hunter is level and is going to have that level true track as Vegas is going to try to initiate. Unfortunately, unable to catch it, but does find a wild Sayuri. Going to get the Flame Lasso going on Sayuri. Going to try to protect her for now. Here comes the Blanket. Come with He's going to get immediately isolated. Here comes the Telekinesis Batrider. Going to try to get as much Firefly damage going on everybody. But the Venom Scale does hit. Vegas going to try to teleport out. Mana Void was already used. Nice recognition by Vegas. Puck unable to get into position quickly enough to cast out a Dream Coil, so Vegas is able to escape. Unfortunately, they did lose Come With Me for a Dazzle. Probably not worth it considering Sayuri is very underfarmed. Hey, Mania trying to get that invisibility rune is going to have to Burrow Strike and Sandstorm out in order to escape this. Here comes the track by the Bounty Hunter, already with the drums and the Vlads. Looks like Dream Coil going to hold him in place. They do not have detection. Here comes Mania, picks up a kill with that track, going to give him a lot of gold. Quick's going to try to escape for now. Meanwhile, Miggle is going to be in a lot of trouble. FaZeWood's and track going to be enough to catch up to Miggle. Dream Coil is already used, and now Quix is going to be in a lot of trouble. Another track going to come in. So much gold being received by the Dire. It's just going to be so hard to overcome that, man. And considering Anti-Mage is not having the best farm, looks like Absolute Legends is starting to pull away. These just incredibly long out engagement long drawn out chasing engagements is absolutely favoring Absolute Legends. You know, Alchemist has pretty much been a non-factor, but that's okay. He has very powerful early game heroes on his side. Freezer is just being a monster with that Trackmania with these Burrow Strikes. Very clutch Vigos with his Batrider. Pretty good. Come with me, just always finding a way to get into position with the telekinesis, always getting enough gold. Flamebreak gonna push back the defenders as Come with me, trying to get in position to try to land a telekinesis at the very least. But looks like Rain are forced to back up. You can see the last hits. Anti-Age without 60 last hits, 15 minutes in the game, very poor farm. Considering the amount of pressure he was under, not too surprising. Meanwhile, Dire do see the Anti-Mage. They do have a ward there. Vigos is going to have the Force Staff up. Meanwhile, Bounty did pick up a kill on Nature's Prophet, going all the way 1,000 miles across the land, just going to follow you to the ends of the earth. It looks like they want to get a kill going as the Rain did place a ward there. Here comes the engagement onto the Venomancer. Can Vigos get the Firefly going? He's surrounded a bit by 3 heroes, but Come with me, he's going to come in to reinforce. Vigos, knowing that the Venomancer is pretty much done, is going to go on to the next target. Unfortunately, that Venomancer is still going to be enough to limit Vigos' movement by a bit. Does not yet have the Force Staff delivered to him. Meanwhile, Come with me is going to be caught in an awkward position. Going to take the fall. Flamebreak going to try to push back Quicks. A little too late by Vigos, but Vigos is going to escape just fine. Meanwhile, Freezer trying to pick up his farm. Alchemist, what is he going to go for? Saving up enough money for that Radiance, and once he gets his Radiance going, he's just going to farm so easily. As it's going to be a blink in from Vigos. Does not yet have Firefly cooldown, pushing everybody back all the while. He is going to take the fall. Mana Void going to be enough to clean up the kill. Nice recovery by GL. But the biggest problem is this Bounty Hunter with that Yasha just finished up. Gonna pretty much have max move speed with track. It's gonna be so difficult to catch up with him. And Miggle, does he know? Does he know? He doesn't know! Oh no, Freezer claritying up. He's gonna get juked a bit by Miggle unintentionally, but here comes Sayuri. Only one Grave. Will she be able to get into 4 in range? She is gonna get into 4 in range. Poison Touch is gonna be used. Miggle. Sayuri doesn't Grave. Bit unfortunate, a bit of slow reaction times, V-bomb reaction times as I have the reaction rate of a dead person, but Sayuri misses the Grave. Got some clutch Graves off earlier, but unfortunately that Grave could have saved Miggle as he's trying to teleport out, and Sayuri does take the fall in the meanwhile. Come with me is here to reinforce. Come with me, always in position, just being the best support player in this game, just always diving in, just saying, alright, come on guys, we have Bounty Hunter, we have Batrider, aggressive heroes, let's just go in, let's just kill everything. As we're just going to take another look at the gold graph, and now it's starting to spiral a bit out of control, and considering no additional towers have been taken by the Dire in this meantime, this is all track gold and hero kill gold. You know, Anti-Mage has not been able to pick up his farm, and that's just going to really limit how much he can do in the mid stages of the game. And even Nature's Prophet was unable to get his split push going, and now Sony very close to his relic, and that's the power of Goblin's Greed. Even if you have an abysmal early game, if you just get a bit of room, you can farm like a beast, like a monster, like an ogre, with a little goblin thing on your back. Sony trying to sell all his items, just trying to get to that relic as much as possible. Picks up a Blink Dagger. This is ballsy. Just going to be able to get that Blink initiation with that Alchemist stun. They just say, we're not going to farm, we're just going to go all aggression. We have that Blink Dagger. We're just going to go in, get track, get Blink going, and get this tower to boot. As Bounty does pick up the last hit. Freezer wants blood. Does half damage to Anti-Mage with 1 hit. Yasha and track minus armor just being so important. He has not even used the drum charges just yet. Meanwhile, Miggle cannot defend this tower by himself as here comes the Force Staff in by Vigos. Gonna get the stacks. Flamebreak pushing back Miggle. Nicely done. They get the stun off on the puck. Unfortunately, they do get the Dream Coil cast, and Vigos is probably going to take the fall. Grave going to be used on Miggle, going to save his life for now. Barrett does fall, is going to buy back. You know, Alchemist, is his ultimate going to cool down? It's going to cool down in about 4 seconds. Can he escape? He does have the mana. He pops the stun as he's going to pop his ultimate right now, trying to reach out him as much as possible. Looks like the weave is going to be used a couple more hits. Meanwhile, Alchemist is trying to reach out up as much as possible. Going to go for the armlet. Come with me. Gets that illusory orb. And Sony, can he escape? That Alchemist is just so difficult to bring down. He is going to escape. Nicely done by Absolute Legends. Unfortunately, Vigos did die, but he immediately buys back, trying to keep up pressure. I do not think that was a rage buyback. They just want to keep up the pressure as much as possible. They do not want to leave Anti-Mage any sort of farm. Still very far away from his Battle Fury. About, well, 700 gold. Meanwhile, Firefly in by the Batrider and Venomancer ward, spotting out all the while. Meanwhile, Freezer, with that minus armor, was able to pick up the Roshan. Do not know how they killed that so fast. Just the pressure by Absolute Legends is absolutely astounding. Meanwhile, Miguel gonna get some stacks going. Vigos just gonna save his flame break until it is necessary, until Miguel tries to TP out. Miguel does take the fall, and you can't run from 2 Blink Daggers, a Batrider, Sticky Napalm, and Bounty Hunter with Track. It's just so difficult to run. You can't run, you can't hide. They're gonna get you.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, 6-minute timer as Bounty Hunter finished the Manta style. 20 minutes in the game. Manta, Phase, Drum, Vlad. This Bounty Hunter is so rich, he's literally swimming in gold. As we can check out his gold per minute. Almost 600 gold per minute for a Bounty Hunter. Considering his last hits, he did get a decent amount of last hits in the early game, but I did say Bounty Hunter is going to be the X Factor. And he has come through in spades. My god. Freezer has just been on a roll. Alchemist finishes his armlet. 20 minutes, Phase with its armlet Blink Dagger. It's pretty solid farm, as looks like there's going to engage on the bottom lane. Freezer does pick up the Anti-Mage. Quick's going to have to get the heck out of there. And I think the relentless pressure of Absolute Legends is starting to come and wearing down Gamers League. It's looking very, very grim for them, but it can still work if they get the Dream Coil going. If they can get a solid weave, they just need to get the damage going. The heroes on the side of Absolute Legends are not too tank, and keep in mind only 6-minute timer on the Aegis of the Immortal for Bounty Hunter. Vigos is going to try to move himself into position, has the regen rune, so if he sees somebody, he's going to pop the regen rune and just force staff in and try to get a kill. Quicks might be the recipient of that. Flamebreak going to scout out the area. Keep in mind, Flamebreak does give vision, so you can use that. Considering 1500 range, pretty good scouting mechanism and a pretty short cooldown to boot, 11 seconds. Meanwhile, Freezer just going to work. Keep in mind those melee Mantolutions do additional damage and a lower cooldown as well. Flamebreak going to come in, pushing back the Venomancer as Come With Me low, pretty low HP. Do they have a mechanism up just yet? They do not. As Sony just going to try to continue his farm. Sony is pretty much their late game insurance, but went for a very aggressive item build. But even if he does turn on Armlet, his ultimate regen should be enough to counteract that. I think it's 30 regen at level 2 and 60 at level 3, or maybe it's 30, 45, 60.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But they're going to kill this top tower. Come with me. I thought for a moment he had Blink Dagger. Finishes the 4 staff, so even more ways to initiate in. But just going to check out that Bounty Hunter Aegis timing. Still has 3 minutes. Still more than enough time to kill a Rax in this, considering how low cooldown all these ultimates and all these spells are. Vigos will 4 staff in. Quicks, what spell was stolen? That was the Illusory Arm? No, that was Phase Shift. Pretty useful. Going to save the life of Come With Me one of these days if he manages to keep it around. Meanwhile, Venomancer desperately trying to finish up that mechanism. One thing that Absolute Legends is lacking is just a defensive item like the mechanism, like the pipe, just to go in and push the tower. But they have so many ways to initiate otherwise that they're not really worried. Maybe Alchemist is just going to charge in and initiate, take up the tower with that armlet and his massive HP pool. That should be enough, as Alchemist's cooldown relatively short on his ultimate. It will be wearing off very soon, but there's going to be engagement. Blink in. Quicks does get the initiation. Could not get the Dream Call up. Do not know how that happened. Quicks immediately dies. Sony picks up Dazzle in the midst of all that. So it looks like Gamers League just crumbling to bits. Miguel just trying to cut off the creep wave as much as possible, knowing that physical damage. Actually, Miguel not even trying to cut off the creep wave. Know what Miguel is doing. Knowing that this Rax is pretty much forfeit. Sony just so tanky. Bounty Hunter just such a beast. CHW calls a GG, and that means Absolute Legends is going to be your winner of the semifinals match between Absolute Legends and Gamers League. And Absolute Legends will move on to the finals to take on Root Gaming in a best-of-3 series to see who qualifies for the 20k land purse prize payout for the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier. Everybody's disconnecting from the game. All that remains is Miguel, and he disconnects. So I am bballin from DotaCommenters.com. If you do want to support me, please follow me on Twitch and on my YouTube. bballin773 is where you can find me everywhere. So thank you for watching. Man, Freezer was just so beastly in this game. 715 gold per minute, pretty much on just on ganks alone, as Freezer really made a huge impact in that game, and it was just so difficult to stop him once he got going. As unfortunately they tried to win their lanes. I just don't think Dazzle was a very strong trial lane pickup for them, as he just needs too much experience for them. But Absolute Legends takes it in convincing fashion, both games ending in around 25 minutes. Nicely done by Absolute Legends. They're going to move on to the Grand Finals against Root Gaming in the best-of-3 series. I am bballin from DotaCommenters.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon.